Hello and welcome to Newsflash on NDTV 24/7. I'm Sanket Upadhyay. A debate that has been going on in this country for a very long time is now back. This time around over the incidents of lynching in the name of Lord Ram. 49 members of the civil society, including some prominent filmmakers and historians, have written an open letter to the Prime Minister highlighting the cases of targeted violence against the minorities, which they say is on the rise. Though the government is yet to officially respond to this letter, a predictable debate of the award wapsi gang's return is now on. So on the News Flash today, we will talk of how this letter should actually be viewed. Which side are you on? Is this the bitter truth? Or as some would want you to believe, hyped up propaganda? That debate up ahead. All right. To discuss this further, I've got Deshratan Nigam. He's a political analyst. Views tilt towards the right. I've got Tehseen Poonawala. He's also a political analyst. The views tilt away from the right. And I've got Fauzia Arshi. She's a film director. Since of these 49, many are representatives of the film fraternity. So representing that viewpoint, Fauzia is there. In just a short moment, we'll also be joined in by Vivek Reddy of the BJP. Let's see if we can get him on the phone. Let me begin with you, Fauzia. What do you think of this statement? I mean, the allegation is that this is the same award wapsi gang which has made a return. The wapsi of the award wapsi gang. Okay, we'll go back to Fauzia in just a short moment. We lost that line. Deshratan Nigam, this was originally your comment in an earlier broadcast. Do you stand by the statement and explain why and how?
See, let me tell you, wapsi of the award wapsi gang is I think the acronym has been coined by you. I only use the word award wapsi gang.
Okay.
So that's a good acronym anyway.
Okay.
Congratulations to you for that. But the fact remains, look at the timing. Exactly after 2014 elections, the same intolerant gang had come up, and exactly after 2019 elections, you see exactly almost the same time this is coming up. And yesterday you also saw a loss of a particular kind of a government in Karnataka. So all this seems to be connected. Now they want to create a controversy, and this is highly motivated letter and rushing to the Prime Minister for something which is a state subject. Law and order is a state subject. You could have written to the various states. So this appears the motive is very doubtful. The intentions are very doubtful.
What about the facts?
Let me tell you the facts. The data that they are citing is 2016, and yesterday Ministry of Home Affairs gave certain statement on the floor of the House in the Parliament saying that there are
no, all the data is not from 2016.
2016 data, even if it, then these are not government data. 2016 is the government data that they are relying on, okay. NCRB data. And subsequently there has been a decline, the Ministry of Home Affairs says. Now that is one aspect of it. Now they have been only saying, I can agree there are issues, but the fact remains what they are saying is Jai Shri Ram has become a war cry. Let me tell you, the incidents that occurred in Unnao, Aligarh and Kanpur have turned out to be fake, where they had said that people have been forcibly asked to chant Jai Shri Ram. They all turned out to be fake, and also in one in Kuch Bihar also turned out to be fake, and there are other incidents.
But then there are many other incidents that were not fake, where lynchings happened.
See, Tabrez Ansari is one aspect where it appears to be a genuine one. The rest of them are still under investigation.
But one case is one too many.
No.
Yes,
they have to be punished. They have to be punished.
Yes. And the Prime Minister has spoken about it also.
Yes.
Fauzia, I believe, is back. I'll come back to you, Tehseen. Fauzia is back. Fauzia, we were trying to ask you, can you hear me?
Yeah. Thank you.
Can you hear me now? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
We are trying to ask you, what is your opinion about this letter?
Yes, I can.
This letter that has been written, the allegation is that this is the wapsi of the award wapsi gang.
Yes. See, anything happens like this in India, all the intellectuals and the people who are responsible citizens, they come up together and they protest like this, which is a wonderful way of conveying that you are feeling, there is a pain in their hearts for the entire country and whatever is happening. I must thanks to all those people who have come up with this letter to the Prime Minister. That was very, very necessary, because I think Prime Minister should listen to somebody at least, you know, because since 2016 and 2000 until today, there are almost 2008 cases registered by NHRC, you know, for harassment of Dalit and Muslims or anybody like this, you know, which led into mob lynching and which led into the deaths of so many people. I'm really sorry that one of the person who is there on this debate is saying that it's all fabricated and it's all fake. That's very painful, you know. Let's think on a human ground.
No,
how come?
Do you believe that the government is in denial?
Believe in killing a person like this?
Fawzia, do you think that the government is in denial by terming, every complaint as a ward wapsi and as the intolerance gang, Tukde gang or whatever gang? Do you think that they're living in denial?
Of course. Of course, government is not, yes. Yeah, of course. See, if you are silent and if you are not listening to what is happening in the country, that means you are not admitting it and you don't have any reason, you don't have any way to solve this problem. This silence is very, very dangerous.
Okay, I think the way to put this in perspective, Tehseen, will be to perhaps do data mapping. For instance, that if a data has been picked up between 2009 and October 2018. I'm just quoting the letter. It says that between January 2009 and October 2018, there have been 254 religion-based crimes. 91 people have been killed. 62% of the victims are Muslims, 14% Christians, and the letter says 90% of the crimes occurred after the BJP government came to power in 2014. This is what the letter is saying, right? Do you think that mapping needs to be done of what happened under whose regime? And then only we'll know the truth. I mean, if the government says that this is an aberration or this is one incident or small or stray incident somewhere, then we will know. When there is a... I'll come to you.
I have data which appears not to have been included where I can show lynchings.
Okay, I'll come to you. I'll come to you on that.
For mapping to be done, there has to be data and data has to be authentic. And like Sir rightly interrupted and said he has data, ma'am may have data, you may have data. Ultimately, the proof of the dhokla is in the eating. The problem starts where? You just put out the quote of the Minister of State for Home who says, look, mob lynching incidences are not common. How does the Home Minister say this on Parliament, the MOS Home, when the main Home Minister, Amit Shah sir, says there is no definition of lynching under CRPC? There isn't. So, you first don't know what are you talking about. So, data can be selective. So, data mapping can only happen when you understand what lynching is. So, the government of India doesn't know what lynching is. As of today, the Home Minister Amit Shah ji says this on the floor of Parliament. Having said that further, let's go to the next step. Nobody is saying anyone should be lynched. Nor a Hindu, nor a Muslim, nor a man, nor a woman, nor a third gender, nor a filmmaker, nor an RSS worker, nor an anchor, nor a common citizen like me. No one should be lynched. But who do we go to? We have to go to the Supreme Court. I went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court told Tehseen Poonawala that via its judgment asked the Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji to make a law. Now, if these filmmakers are writing to our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi ji is my Prime Minister, their Prime Minister, that follow the Supreme Court request and make a law. Why are you not doing it? My last point. Sir said these are state subjects. What about Delhi? Delhi comes straight under central government. And my last point. For Lokpal, you have a central act and states have to follow. For SC/ST, you have a separate central act and states have to follow. POSCO, you have a central act and states have to follow.
So, you're saying the same yardstick needs to be applied here as well.
And all these arguments were made before the Supreme Court. Tushar Mehta was there. In fact, Mukul Rohtgi was there. It was thrown out by Deepak Mishra. So, follow the Supreme Court judgment. That is it.
Okay. Vivek Reddy of the BJP is also on the phone line. Let's quickly accommodate his view as well. Vivek, can you hear me? So, how do you look at this? The allegation over here is that for each time, Vivek, can you hear me?
Thank you, sir. Your voice is not clear.
Yeah, Vivek, I'll speak slowly so that you can understand what I'm asking. Vivek, for each time that there are people, members prominent people who are writing letters and saying that there is intolerance, there is lynching, and the government must intervene. You have a classic response from the BJP saying that these are award wapsi gang, Khan market gang, Tukde gang, this gang, that gang. Do you think that the government should at least come out of denial?
Yeah.
These
yeah.
incidents have happened.
Yeah.
Why are we
Yes.
quick to attach a motive?
Sure.
Vivek,
Yes, Sanket, from the little that I can hear, I don't know if you can hear me, the audio is very bad. From the little that I could hear of Teseen's argument, I think this letter makes one thing clear. What this letter is pointing out is that there have been instances since 2009. And all the while it has been such to make out that incidents have happened since 2014, since Mr. Modi came into the central government. I think there is one fallacy here which we need to understand. And that fallacy was always being settled by these very same set of intellectuals who have written this letter this time. And that fallacy was that after Mr. Modi came, there have been these incidents, which is wholly false. And you know, any amount of common sense or any amount of basic understanding would not convince them that this was not an outcome of any regime in the center. Now this letter at least takes away that theory that they were trying to peddle. They are now saying that it was there since 2009. This is one thing. So therefore, the fallacy is wrong. That is first. The second thing is, what Mr. Teseen Poonawalla says, there are laws. There are laws in India. I mean, you enforce those laws. And who is in charge of the machinery which enforces the laws? It is the state government. I wonder why Teseen is saying, make a law. There are laws. There are laws against all sorts of crimes. I mean, you don't have to have lynching as a separate law because there is always a law pertaining to mob violence, pertaining to
okay,
murder,
I get your point.
pertaining to
I get your point.
pertaining to various crimes,
Vivek, response
and
coming
pertaining
in from
to
Teseen.
conspiracy.
Yeah,
So,
Quick point.
response from
so
Teseen.
therefore, Sanket,
Yes, quickly.
finally,
Yeah.
these intellectuals will have to learn, or at least they understand, that the climate that exists in this country of 1.3 billion people living together happily, I think that's a great score that this nation has set an example.
Yeah, one
It is
more.
a great thing about this nation. Let's understand that.
So that's the point. Vivek Reddy, for a government, I think the problem begins. Vivek, one moment. I think the problem begins, Teseen, when you see the government saying that these could be stray incidents and it should be treated like that and not blown out of proportion. They feel that this is hype, propaganda being done by people of a certain ideology. They attempted the same in 2014 and 15. They're doing that again now. Do you think that the one thing that we often forget in a debate like this are facts? Have these incidents happened or not? If even one has happened and it is correct, it is one too many.
Yeah.
Absolutely correct, Sanket. It is not these left liberals, as Vivek Reddy says, or the
Definitely.
filmmakers as Aparna ji
Absolutely.
and all the other people are, Fauzia ji on this show.
Yeah.
It is the Honorable Supreme Court says that India cannot become a mobocracy, it's a democracy. Is the Honorable Supreme Court also left liberal, Khan market gang, Tukde gang, all of that? It clearly isn't. Now to my last point. All these arguments that there are laws, there already exist laws, were made before the Supreme Court. When we started, and I started my argument with there is no definition for lynching as confirmed by Amit Shah ji today on the floor of Parliament. How do you know there are laws? There can be laws for a crime that I know exists. When I don't recognize the crime, how can there be laws? Therefore, please make the law. Who will make the law in Delhi? That's all we are asking you.
Okay. Fauzia, before I come to you, I want to come across to you. First of all, you had some facts. So maybe you can quickly talk about that.
See, when I
No, facts first.
No, that is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I have about
Data to data comparison.
2009 there are certain datas that I have where the lynching of Hindus have taken place, but there seems to be only emphasis on Jai Shri Ram. that is the motivated and the intention is suspect.
So you're saying targeted violence
Ta-
should be treated
It-
as
it-
targeted violence?
and it should not be related to
Not
religion.
religion specific.
And once
Okay.
you give the victim a religion or the attackers a religion, you forget the main objective and then you make it more communal. What they forget about the Allahu Akbar, what happened in Bharat Yadav's case or Gangaram Chauhan's case,
Correct.
it doesn't. So what I am saying, Jai Shri Ram has become a war cry. No, it is not, certainly not. Many cases have proven to be fake by the investigation. So therefore, and many are pending with the court. Court will decide whether they are fake or not.
Here is my next question, and now I want to ask this to Fawzia. Fawzia, the government stand in Parliament as far as these cases are concerned is the following.
Yeah.
The government says, and I quote, no common pattern of mob lynching exists in the country. The government says lynchings have happened in different states at different times. The government says that incidents have happened in different states ruled by different political parties, unquote. Right? So the government on its part, I think the basic problem over here is refuses to acknowledge that lynching is the common factor here. What they are trying to prove that there is no fixed pattern. This is not being done as some sort of a state-sponsored exercise.
Not that.
One more.
Not that.
The government's intention over here is to say that, look, you are
Definitely.
trying
See,
to project this as some state-sponsored exercise.
No. As an
This is not the
organized
case.
pattern.
Organized pattern.
Pattern
yes.
by anybody.
By any. Yes. Fawzia.
See, I want to say here, see, if government is silent, I'm talking about the central government, I'm talking about the ruling party. If the ruling party is silent and is giving all such statements which you are telling and which I have been reading, this is really, really very astonishing, I must say.
Why?
I am not sorry about it only, but I'm astonished that how irresponsible. And one thing more, see, this is a disease which is growing amongst the people, and there is emotional instability in the people. It was never there in the blood of the Indians that you say Jai Shri Ram or Bharat Mata ki Jai or anybody. Dalits are Hindus, they are following Krishna and Ram. Muslims are following their religion. It's not about Hindu and Muslim. It's all about the human, that nobody, if there is even one case, I must say that if government is saying that there is no such cases and it's fabricated and all that blah blah blah, I must say that if there is one case even existing like this, why the proper steps are not taken? That means what? That means you are trying to provoke, you are trying to take advantage politically over this, or you are trying to gather some kind of a religion vote bank for the next election, or this government is trying to getting ready itself for the next election on this agenda, or is it something which is keeping the people from the main agendas and the main issues in the country which are going on?
Okay, so
There
your
are
allegation
lot of
is that
issues in
this
the
is a
country.
smoke
It's not
screen.
only this.
A debate
so
like this
by
is
keeping
being
silent on this,
No, by being silent or by criticizing a certain section and making sure that the discussion is surrounded around this.
There are existing
Yes, of course.
One moment. Vivek
See,
Reddy wants to come in.
criticizing
Vivek.
them, calling them
Vivek,
gangs
Vivek.
and all. See,
Vivek
if
Reddy
I
of the
am
BJP.
talking
Vivek,
against
the allegation
government,
is
Don't put wrong
that all of this is being done deliberately.
There is no question of being silent. There are existing laws. You have to work them. It is not that there are no laws. Mr. Tehsin Poonamala may try to define
Okay,
things,
so
but
there are existing laws, but who
laws.
is following?
There
Every
are
third day,
laws.
even today, there
Why
is
don't you
a
ask the
case
state
of
government to
lynching.
take action? Who is in charge of the law and order?
Where
matters?
are these laws, my friend?
These-
Where
what
are
are these
these
laws?
laws?
I think you are hyping Fawzia ji.
Ensure that
Okay.
they are
One-
Okay,
one-
but
Tehsin.
I don't find any law and
Tehsin.
order. Every day there is.
So that we are
there
all
is
on the
one
same
case
page. I
happening.
think
Against the
some of
government,
it is getting
then
lost in
It
translation.
is the
One more.
state missionary that is in charge of the law and order.
Vivek, one moment.
Yes, Sanket.
One moment, Vivek. Yes, Tehsin. You want to come.
Vivek is making the same
Okay,
point
so
again.
who
Fawzia
has
ji, please, may I make my
permitted
point
these
now?
people
May I make my point?
to
Thank you,
go
Fawzia ji.
and take the law in their hands?
Yeah.
See,
was permitted?
the point is,
Who is in charge of the law and order?
I can't talk this way. You just have to make a very
Tehsin,
intellectual
Tehsin, go
point.
ahead.
The blame against the
Vivek,
central
please, may I make my point? You may counter me.
Elementary that the entire law and order machinery is with the state government. So whom
the
should
same
you
point
ask this
repeating.
question?
Okay,
Why don't you
Vivek
ask
is
the
making the
question to the
same point
authorities
again, and
there?
he's taken another 3 minutes saying
That's
that is.
the sad part. You will always try to misapply and mislead.
How do I talk?
Okay,
And that is what,
one moment, Vivek. Let's get in a response
that is what
first.
I'm trying to do.
Vivek, let's get in a response. I don't think he can hear us.
Okay.
Vivek, let's listen into a response also. One moment. Tehseen.
Absolutely. Law is a state order subject. And in taking Vivek and Deshatan Nigamji's example forward, in cases where the state had accused somebody of lynching, a union minister in Narendra Modi ji's cabinet, a colleague, came and wrapped a tricolor for which, Sanket, you and I lay down our life. A union minister in Narendra Modi ji's cabinet came and garlanded convicted people and said, I did my fact check, their suspension. They were not suspended. They were out on bail. They were convicted by the trial court. Yes. Convicted lynchers were garlanded by a union minister. At the end of the day, when you say that this is not state sponsored, this is absolutely state sponsored, because if a lyncher, somebody who is being convicted, is invited to Yogi Adityanath's rally and they are standing in the first row and clapping and cheering.
Okay, right to reply.
And
One
offered
more.
state jobs.
Okay, right to reply very quickly, Vivek Reddy.
Look at it straight. These problems have been existing in India since a long time.
It doesn't matter.
And
It may have
stop
existed
blaming
for
this
time
regime
immortal.
for it, first of all.
Doesn't justify it today, my friend Vivek. How do you justify
doesn't
something
matter.
that happened
It doesn't
2000
matter.
years ago
Why are you
today?
coming forward and trying to point the finger of blame against this regime only?
I
Your
went to the
mindset.
court. The court asked this
That is why
regime to
you
do
got
it. The
perfect
regime has a
right.
majority.
You
It's
have
not
gone to
doing
the
it.
court.
Therein is the
You have
problem.
gone to the court.
Okay,
The
one
court
moment.
has-
I will go to the court.
My final
That
2
is
minutes
not
on this
everything.
discussion. I want to
You have
ask you,
gone to
Mr.
the court,
Deshatan
Mr.
Nigam,
Poonawala,
do you think that at this moment,
gone to the
Vivek
state
Reddy,
government.
one moment.
I
Vivek,
could have gone in 84
Tehseen.
because I was 1 year old in 84. I wish I was
One-
older in 84. I would have gone in 84, my brother.
Let's make sense of this
Come on,
discussion.
yaar, kya baat
Otherwise,
ho
it will be a shouting match. Please,
Obviously,
let's avoid that.
If you go to the court
Vivek.
with the mindset to blame the government, that's a problem with you.
Vivek, one moment. Let's make sense of this conversation. Otherwise, we'll keep yelling at one another. Deshatan Nigam, I want to ask you this fundamental question, right? Have lynchings happened? Yes. Right? Have they happened in a form of a targeted violence against certain members of the minority community? Yes. They may have happened in a targeted form against members of the majority committee also.
Yeah.
Yes. Can we acknowledge that these incidents have happened?
See, let me answer.
Because the moment you get
let
into
me
this,
answer.
the moment you get into this whataboutery, what about that incident, what about this incident,
let us
the
be-
moment you get into this gang, that gang, attach motives,
See,
you're diluting
there-
the importance
see,
and
the-
significance of something
See,
like
there
this.
has been attacks. There is no doubt about it. But one should not attach religion to it.
Yeah.
See it from the prism of victim is from this religion or the attacker is from this religion. Then you can't find a
But
solution.
Jai Shri Ram was shouted
No,
at.
Jai Shri Ram, many of the cases have turned out to be fake. Junaid in Alwar turned out to be a trained seat dispute. So, let's not jump the gun before it is investigated and found out. Everybody seems to be, without even court reaching a conclusion, have given their opinion like a Supreme Court judge. That this has happened and Jai Shri Ram has become a war cry, and many of them I have told you
What
are
should the
fake.
Prime Minister do with this letter?
See, let me tell you.
Very quickly,
So-
running
so-
out of time. What should the Prime Minister do with this
See,
letter?
the Supreme Court has advised for some kind of a law. It can only advise, not direct the Parliament.
Yes,
The
correct.
Parliament in its wisdom may consider
a law.
consider
Vivek
a
Reddy,
law.
can you hear me?
And equally, as I said, if there are false complaints, then that person must, in my opinion,
Okay.
should be given life
Okay,
imprisonment.
Vivek
so
Reddy,
that this
what
is a
should the
very
Prime
serious
Minister
problem.
do? What should the
Yes.
Prime Minister do with this letter?
And make it non-bailable.
Very,
I'll
very
agree
quickly,
with that.
Vivek Reddy, what should the Prime Minister do with this letter? Oh, I don't think he can
Oh,
hear
yes.
us. Yeah, Vivek.
Sanket, you're asking me?
I'm asking you, Vivek, what should the Prime Minister do with this letter?
It will be considered as any other letter by citizens of India. It will be seriously perused by the Prime Minister's office and will be considered, and if anything could be done for betterment of
That's
the
better
situation,
if
it
this
will be done.
happens.
That's the way our Prime Minister works.
Can we
Let there
expect
be
a
no doubt
response?
about it.
Can we expect a response?
he will look into
Because
it.
this is a debate that has been raging on in Parliament as well. Can we expect a response?
Yes, definitely. I mean,
Okay.
it depends
Let's
on how
hope the Prime Minister
sectors and
responds.
the
Do you
policies
what
that
should
will
the
be
Prime
followed
Minister
by
do?
the
No, the
sector.
government
quickly.
will
Government,
respond,
okay.
not
I-
necessarily.
Okay, the government.
I have absolute faith in my honorable Prime Minister. He is the most powerful man in the world according to himself. For 21 state governments he is governing. Why doesn't he just pass the law? I am working with Ashok Gehlot ji's government. I have sent the law to them. I do believe Ashok Gehlot ji is passing the law.
So you are
in the next
saying that
in a few weeks.
one
Law is also under consideration in UP.
One moment, Fawzia.
Yes, and they are doing massacre.
Yes,
It's
Fawzia, do you think that the best way to respond to a letter like this is to
Yeah.
start a debate on an anti-lynching law? the one that was initiated by Tehseen?
Rather than pointing fingers at Jai
Okay.
Shri Ram
One
and
more,
things
one
like
more.
that.
Of course.
Okay.
Definitely. See, that's what we want from our Prime Minister. Mr. Narendra Modi is our Prime Minister. We have all the rights to tell him our pain, and it's
Fine.
our fundamental right, and he has to listen to us. No matter what the people are saying, ki this is fabricated or this is fake or whatever. If there is one case, our Prime Minister has to listen to it. And trust me, these cases have been happening since a long and they are ignored.
We should, as citizens of this country, expect a debate around having an anti-lynching law.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that at the end of this debate, which proved to be meaningful, that now we have a solution that the country needs to have a anti-lynching law. Fauzia, Deshratan Nigam, Tehseen Poonawala and Vivek Reddy, many thanks for joining us on Newsflash. That's all the time we have in this edition.